Miles, can you give me 10? Can we
If you
start
want more
doing-
coffee, we make more coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna make coffee real quick. I made some and then.
And then we'll do what we're going to do, and then you
Okay,
want
I
to
just
join
don't wanna
in.
disrupt
It's
it all.
entirely down to James.
No,
Yeah,
it's up to
could
James.
do
I
you
mean,
first
I need
and
to
then
come up with
Yeah.
some good questions for him.
Yeah,
for
well,
sure.
you'll do all that when
Okay.
it becomes intuitive.
Okay.
And I've got a second mic for you.
Okay.
And if anybody's got a phone, make sure you get stupid noises coming out of
We're
it.
gonna do it
So,
all back to back. I thought you were gonna do part 1 and then we take a break and then.
welcome to Zennor. You're a star of Zennor, and the local star here is Bob. And it's great to see you again. You're all done up.
Yeah, try to make an effort.
And we've just had a major international conference with a lot of people saying a whole lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
And we're also, you mentioned James Reed,
Yeah.
and he just left us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so much has happened. I think it's like going into the future, I'm trying to work out what is sustainable and what's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Where, as regards disclosure,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like I'm getting more into entertainment and music and writing. You know, it's like how many podcasts can I actually do? Because, as I mentioned, so many things have happened. I kind of need to focus on my recovery
Yes.
and my health.
So I think if you can get anything in the past that you want to say, I just get over it and then
Yeah,
move
get
on.
over it and move on. That's
We're
what I wanna
today.
do, yeah,
And a lot of things have happened,
yeah,
and it's good to see you in the sun. And but the last time was, but that's in the past.
yeah.
Is there anything you want to sort of say to sort of about what went before, and then we just talk about what's going to happen now?
What? I mean, I've not really planned what I was going to say. I've not taken any notes. I just wanted
I think
to,
it's the best
I
way.
just
That's
wanted to do a
fine.
natural conversation.
This is just a conversation.
You know, so much had happened. For the first 2 years in prison, I was in cells 23 hours a day, in the size of a small toilet, and I had to sleep with my head next to the toilet for 2 years, and there was no windows, so in the winter it was all the cold weather was blowing in, you know, and they kept putting the first year or two was to break you down, you know, so they kept putting new cellmates in with me. So you get used to one cellmate, and he's there for 2 weeks, and then they put a new one in, and they keep rotating that. So I was in that cell, again, the size of a small toilet bathroom, and I had to sleep with my head next to the toilet. 23 hours a day, you're only allowed out 1 hour a day, so you know, like my back ended up seizing up. You know, I'd probably say by the end of my sentence, I'm not exaggerating, but I think I was close to death. You know, I think I was close to dying.
About the end of your sentence,
In devices.
yeah, which is just up the road from me. I honestly thought when I last saw you, it'd be in a week's time, Duncan dropped down, we'd have a bit of a heavy social
Yeah,
distance, sort of high and by, that sort of a thing.
yeah.
But it wasn't for a long time after that. You actually left. What happened then?
Well, they said my mother came to pick me up, and they told my mother if she takes a picture of me walking out the prison gates, they're going to arrest her. Because they didn't want like that iconic picture taken, you know. And I walked out the prison gates, and she just became hysterical. She just broke down in tears. And it's no exaggeration to say I was probably close to death. I mean, I had liver disease. My kidneys were infected. I was urinating blood. I was riddled with arthritis. I was covered in head to toe in sores.
Now this is years after I last saw you, which was your official release date, which is 6 days.
Which was 2019. that's when I walked out the prison gates at Elstoke in Devizes. That was 2019, and then I went into probation hostel, and I was under tight control then for another 5 years under license. And they didn't want me speaking to. They kept mentioning you. They didn't want me speaking to you. That was, you know, almost every couple of weeks they were mentioning you. So, but I'm off license now.
Right.
But there's still so much I can't talk about, and there's still.
This is entirely down to you, James.
Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about the things I can't talk about.
Well, don't.
Because I need legal advice, and I've not got access to a lawyer. So I'm going to be sensible.
Be sensible.
Yeah.
This is just a hello, it's good to see you type of a thing.
Yeah.
In the climate, we've had this huge positive conference with a whole pile of people all talking about these new things trying to impact. It's interesting you meant, maybe you're jumping forward too far, but just tell us how you want to say it, whatever you want to do.
Well, I want to concentrate on my recovery, on my health. You know, because I've got to watch out that I don't end up in kind of Elvis Presley territory where I'm sacrificing my health in order to appear on film.
Yeah, we've just been doing a quick pre-shoot thing, having a chat with some of the other people here. So we just want to make it right by you.
And then I'm focusing on entertainment, music and writing. So, you know, if I'm going to be taken seriously as an artist, musician, then I'm going to have to maybe work out a way to appear on stage and perform one of my singles at some point. And that's the direction.
Well, I mean, you've got, I call him St. Bob, you're in a house here, and your previous blogs and chats with Bob have been in this very famous location here in Zennor. Tell us more.
Well, you got the Nordics, the reptilians, the Greys, and blah, blah, blah. We've talked about this stuff for years, you know, it's nothing new, but they're all the same race. They're just at different ages. They start off as Nordics, and then they transform as they get older. So it's all the same race. They're a primitive race, as we were talking about before. I don't know if we got that on film.
We got a bit of a chat. It's not very important though.
They're a primitive race
because in the climate of the Warminster thing, Peter Paget was put in charge of that in the 1960s, and he had to deal with ET problems at RAF or US Navy St. Morgan, just up the coast here, because the ETs or the aliens didn't like them listening to what they were doing.
Yeah.
And he explained something similar to what you're saying, is that really they're not that much more advanced than us.
They're less advanced.
Yes, yeah.
They're primitive. If they were here, they wouldn't be able to drive a car. I mentioned before, I can't drive a car. I'm 49, I haven't got a driver's license. I can drive an automatic. In the States, I could drive an automatic, but I drove like on the outside lane really fast, and I was like terrorizing people. And that was just my kind of style of driving. But I can't drive a manual because there's too many variables going on. And you know,
can you reverse park?
No, I can't do that stuff. And it's because I've been diagnosed with traits of Asperger's. There's too many variables going on, and I was looking at some of the control panels on the inside of the UAPs, and from the Roswell crash, and I know people are
Don't tell Ben Emlyn Jones about this.
People will start screaming and throwing tomatoes at the screen talking about Roswell because it's so boring.
Well, I might be one of them actually.
You know, Roswell's so boring, but the control panels were available, and all the control panels were two big buttons and a dial. That's it. Because they're a primitive race, they can't operate anything too complicated. They wouldn't be able to fly a modern plane. There's too many variables. There's too many their brains are not developed for the modern world.
Or have their brains been regressed?
This is the thing. They're primitive, but they're more advanced. But there's no word in the English language to describe being primitive and being super advanced at the same time. There's no word. And, this is, so, the
And
primitive
where did
race.
you experience that?
Pardon?
Where did you experience that? I mean, where
Just
did
the inside of the craft that I've been on. But I don't like talking about things unless I'm a materialist.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk about something unless I've got evidence or unless there's kind of third-party witness, or I've got pictures, or I've got video footage.
As Larry Warren says, he doesn't have a carburetor from an alien craft. He doesn't have something to show.
It's just to mention James Rink briefly. James Rink did a great thing before he died. He posted a picture of the interior of one of the UAP, and it looked very authentic to me. And the reason why I say that is because all it was a block of stone with like a sword shoved in it and 2 seats. That was it. And it looked like there was possibly a grey in one of the seats, but it was all misty. So they're a very primitive race. That's all their control panels are. A black block with a sword shoved in it and 2 seats. And the dial has got two buttons, and the control panel's got 2 buttons and a dial. That shows how primitive the race is. And they're all Nordics, tall whites, reptilians, greys. They're all the same race, but they're at different ages, and they change shape, and their physiology changes as they get older.
Bit like the tall whites seem to go. Do they? No. Well, I think there's some ETs on Star Trek would go back to a child's state.
Yeah, Charles Hall talks about the tall whites. They get either really tall as they get older, or they get smaller. I forget which it is. But I've got some video footage which is very sensitive, and I'm a bit leery to talk about it, but seeing as I've already mentioned it, I probably should talk about it.
Well, talk about it.
Well, I got copies in a safe place. The female Nordics are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Their changes are more extreme and in your face than the males. So the video footage I've got is in full HD glory, and it shows the Nordic females, kind of small, beautiful, sort of blonde, metallic hair, and then it shows her eyes shape-shift into vertical slits, reptilian. Then, as time goes on, hormones are being affected through like pregnancies and things. She changes into like this kind of Eldarian clown-like entity, which her mouth stretches and she has a big wide like Joker grin. And then she changes into she turns over 7 feet tall, green skin. Her hair here starts to go bald because her reptilian physiology is kicking in so hard. Her hairline starts going back, so she's losing her hair here. She's starting to go bald here, and she's got green skin. And when she turns, she's gone from Nordic, there's a beautiful short Nordic, to a over 7 foot green reptilian female, and she's got really sharp teeth. And I've got all the video footage in safe places. It's all in HD glory, and it shows the changes, and it shows the changes very intimately and detailed. So that it's the same race. It goes Nordic, grey, reptilian, and it's the same woman. And she's being affected by pregnancies and hormone cycles. That's what's causing the changes.
So when did you first see that? Was that traumatic or just part of your training?
No, I got access to that material when I came out of prison. It was there waiting for me, and it was very specifically provided to me in very specific ways.
Do you want to talk about your friend John Irwin?
What can I say about John? I mean, he wanted to start like a private security thing, but my whole combat program is like shut down and reversed. Like, I don't do martial arts anymore. Now it's all sort of centered in my head. All my energy centers is centered in my head now. And my whole body's changed. You know, I've almost become left-handed where I was right-handed before.
You mentioned to your friends, Duncan, I think via Sohail, that you weren't the same guy that you were when you went in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, my whole body's been changed. Like everything's centered in my head now. Like my throat, my vocal cords have been changed, and it's almost like I'm prepared for like this role of being an entertainer or a politician or something. And I was supposed to be involved in political parties, and the rumours were that £2 million were provided to a political party, and then when the financiers approached the political party, they said, well, where's James Casbolt's role in the political arena? They said, oh, we haven't got a role, we excluded him. And then they said, well, where's the money? Where's the 2 million? And they said, oh, we've divided it up in between ourselves. And then the financiers said, well, that's a problem.
That's a big problem.
And what happened was, because I was so, I use the word, I was turned into a torture toy. You know, I was ridiculed in all the national newspapers, calling me names.
Yeah.
And I was ridiculed on podcasts and.
But would you not expect the past to be dragged up like that? It's the first thing they do in politics. It's not a pleasant business. Politics.
No, they said if you can't, you've got to have tough skin, and you've got to take being, you know, you've got to take some of that. The political parties and the money that was provided to them, they thought because I wasn't an object of ridicule, they could just, you know, exclude me and keep the money, because it's because look in the paper, look what's being said about him, calling him names.
But would they not have realised that before? I mean, it's not rocket science. You ask a few difficult questions to people, anything you need to tell us, so they know anyway. So it doesn't, when it happens, it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, that's not rocket science for a political party.
Yeah, but then the financiers were like, oh, where's the money? They said, oh, we divided it up in between ourselves. They said, well, where's James's political role? We haven't got it. We excluded him. So the financiers are like, that's a problem. It's something called TANS, T-A-N-S, Transnational Advocacy Networks, where if I sit down with somebody, then they can receive funding from TANS, a Transnational Advocacy Network. And it could be BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It could come from those countries. It doesn't necessarily have to come from America or the United States. But I've got to be really careful about who I sit down with and who interviews me, because once I sit down with somebody, then they can start receiving funding, the person that interviews me.
Yeah.
Because they can say, oh, I'm an advocate of James Casbolt, and they can start receiving funding.
Seems like a murky world of politics, but I mean, anybody who didn't think politics and a murky world was a bit naive. So where do you feel you're going to go from there? What do you feel is your plans? You've been working with Bob, you've got your book published.
Yeah, finally got the book published.
Which is really a chapter of your main book, Agent Buried Alive.
Well, it's Agent Buried Alive Part 2. I wrote it in prison. And Agent Buried Alive Part 1 I gave away for free as an ebook. But I wanted to make this as a paperback. So people could have a collectible item that they could hold in their hands.
Yeah. But would you want to have that all published as one solid, the original, I think you evolved Agent Buried Alive had 7 chapters and 8, I think it's up to 11.
And then it was translated into German and Latin American for the Latin American world. And, I've started to, I released some of it on Project Camelot with Kerry Cassidy, and I've evolved what happens at the end of that, the Chronicles of Michael Prince, and that's Agent Buried Alive Part 3. So I've got so much material up here, and it's,
I mean, I remember when you were in Coast to Coast, I think with George Morey, we're talking a long time ago.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was about 6 million people tuned into that.
And I remember being at the Super Soldier Summit with, it could have been one of the UFO congresses, and Lorien Fenton, and you were on that. I think that it was when I think you were in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Which was a nice time, I think then. I think you just...
Yeah, but it wasn't a nice time because I was, part of the Asperger's thing is I don't really display emotions, and people get angry. I don't really have emotional outbursts, and people take that as weakness. People take it as I'm vulnerable, and then they don't understand that that's not the case, And I was surrounded by people that destroyed my life. And we're getting into the past here,
Yeah.
Lorien Fenton saw a meal ticket, and she knew that there was an Asperger's aspect of it, and she knew that certain people I can't talk about were also probably on the autistic spectrum.
Well, I don't think it's fruitful talking about that anymore, do you think? Do you want to leave it?
Yeah, well, I'm moving forward now into music and entertainment. I've got 50 Cent on some of my music. I've got 50 Cent's producer producing my second album.
Maybe we could get one of the CDs in a book or something. Anybody out there? Well, we did do that. It's all a relaxed thing. So
yeah, I've completed my first album and I'm working on my second album, and I've got a guy called Adrian Wood who's 50 Cent's producer.
Now that's a real studio. Did you record that here in St Ives? Was it St Ives?
Yeah, it's near Truro.
Truro.
Cube recording. It's like the Saturn Cube, and people are being negative about the Saturn Cube. There's no reason we have to be negative about the Saturn Cube or Saturn. There's a lot of...
That's a heavy-duty studio.
Cube recordings. So I'm about to do the 4th track, but then I'm talking about rap and hip-hop, but you don't really know anything about rap and hip-hop.
No, I'm not really a rap and hip-hop guy.
And a lot of...
I know dance music, trance music, all that stuff.
A lot of the people that are going to be listening to this, they want to hear Super Soldier and UAP. And they probably don't know that much about rap and hip hop, but I've got a legal gag order which I can't talk. It's like pages long. I can't talk about so much, so I have to put it out in codes and ciphers through music. So if people want to hear about UAP, then I have to put it out in music.
How long is it? Does that last?
This is the thing. I can't access a lawyer at the moment. So, I don't know.
Well, we don't want you to say anything, which is good.
I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I'm not
good.
stupid.
That's good. You do not want to say anything. This is about, hello, good to see you, James, and what do you do?
And this is the thing, what I'm doing is focusing on my recovery.
Well, explain the CD. I've got the CD.
Um,
And the key
so
is
this
is in the that's the DJ in that. Is that the guy who
This is
mixed it?
DJ Young C is a G Unit DJ. Now I'm working with a music PR company in the States, so, and they're giving my email address and my contact details out to music A&Rs. So DJ Young C is famous. He's reached like 10 million people. He's a G Unit DJ, and G Unit.
Now explain what G Unit means.
G
for
Unit
people.
is, I was wearing the G Unit tracksuit last time with Bob. It's 50 Cent's record label, and it's a clothing brand, and it's the members of G Unit are Young Buck, Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and 50 Cent. Now, Bob's probably going to come with me if he's happy to do that, to create the 4th track of the 2nd album. That's going to have Tony Yayo on it doing a verse, and he's a member of G Unit.
No, this is
So
your
that's going to be a
lyrics.
big thing.
This is your lyrics, is that right?
The track's called 7 Clones. He's wrote one verse, and I've wrote the other verse. And so that's going to be a big thing. And we've got a DJ called DJ Tiger Style. He's going to be cutting up, scratching my vocals. Now he's like a world champion, DMC world champion. DMC world championships are when the Technics, DMC DJs, all the best in the world, compete against each other. And his name's DJ Tiger Style. He's world champion. So he's going to be on the track as well. So we've got some really big names on the next track.
Well, I mean, this is amazing. I mean, how you can get that kind of people together, that's fantastic.
I didn't get them together. The PR company approached me. They said, we're going to give your email address out to music A&Rs. Then all of a sudden I start getting contacted by like DJ Young C, Adrian Wood, who's the G Unit producer, and then 50 Cent appeared on my tracks on my YouTube channel. He gives a shout out to DJ Young C.
Right. Are there any significance to the artwork on that?
Yeah, that's like a spaceship.
Yeah.
It's like me in the spaceship. It's, you know, flying over St. Ives, because our favourite tracks is called St. Ives to Memphis.
But why did you choose the back picture? What particular, is there any message in that?
Yeah, it's like me flying over St. Ives in a spaceship. But DJ Young C designed that. So he knows that there's a big UAP, UFO aspect to it. I mean, there's so much, like Warlord track 2, it starts off, I say, I was in my spaceship, I was flying, that's how it starts off. So a lot of the stuff I can't talk about, I can talk about in this.
Because you're not talking about it enough.
No, because I'm
if you see what I mean.
Yeah, because I'm putting in codes and ciphers.
Yeah.
So, and then...
But what I was saying, is this like a permanent gag order for the rest?
No, it's not permanent. That's why I want to concentrate on my recovery, because in the next few years I want to see my loved ones.
Yeah.
And I want to be healthy when I see
I mean,
them.
the statement you did, which I played at the conference, that little mission you had, but I got that statement you made, we arranged, that was in July.
Mm.
That conference collapsed, I have to say, due to certain influences, and we don't know whether that's going to happen again. But you were wearing a flak jacket or something. Was there any reason why you had to have the black things?
Because I've spent so much time in darkened cells, and my eyes are really sensitive to light. So it kind of, if I wear sunglasses, I can concentrate better, and it helps me focus better. Because, you know, I spent years in dark cells, so yeah, it helps me concentrate. And the flak jacket is just a little bit theatrical.
Theatrical, okay.
Because we're getting into entertainment and rap and R&B.
Yes. So show business is show business.
And I've also taught myself how to sing when I was in prison.
All right.
Which I could never sing before. It's easy to rap.
Yeah.
And I want to be healthy. I want to see my loved ones in the future, and I want to be healthy when I do that. The main thing is I want to be alive when I do that.
That's always useful.
Yeah, that's always useful. And I don't want to sacrifice my health to appear on camera constantly.
Well, this is our bit, and you know, Ida, I think, might want to chat with you whether you want to have that on camera, whatever it is. That could be her.
Chat with Ida and Dr. Amir.
Yeah, well, they came down here really to see you and things.
Yeah, that would be good. It's like with James Rink, he created about 400 videos during his lifetime.
It's terrible here. I was shocked when I saw him.
Well,
couldn't believe it.
They're very valuable now.
Yeah.
And it's getting into Tupac and Suge Knight territory, because Suge Knight said that Tupac is worth more dead than he is alive. So when Tupac died, his artwork became much more valuable. So now James Rink is dead, his artwork is much more valuable now.
Well, it's not much use to him.
Well, yeah, I'm sort of drawing a blank at the moment.
Well, I think Bob here knows about that.
Anyway, it's probably good I'm drawing a blank because it's such a sensitive subject. I
Okay,
probably
well,
shouldn't say too much.
We would just skip over that.
Yeah.
Again, it's entirely down to you. Relax. Don't want to say anything. Is there any? Have you had any thoughts to join your friends further east, or do you want to talk about that? Duncan and all that?
Well, the thing is, I've been in touch with Sahel, and there's a possibility of Sahel coming to Cornwall in 2026. Now, he's hooked up with some tech team. He's got his own 8-man tech team, and he's in the process of building a studio. He wants to do a couple of music videos on Penzance Seafront for maybe the track called Hillbilly Fairy Tale. Record that as a music video on Penzance Seafront. But he is Gaia TV have been in contact with him.
Right.
Now, Dr. Stephen Greer have said...
Well, maybe you don't want to talk about details like that because they may be proprietary and they may whatever.
Yeah,
I just caution that. That's
yeah, that you're right there. But we don't want to be stuck in podcast universe forever.
Yeah.
Kind of, we want to evolve onto maybe Tubi or one of the smart channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to be stuck in podcast universe
Evolve,
forever.
move,
Move
progress.
on, yeah. Because, I mean, we can do this forever. We can sit in front of cameras and little podcasts.
Yeah,
and, and everyone's doing the same podcast, saying the same things. We need to move on.
Yes. Well, you've got that's one of the fundamental laws of show business.
Yeah, I'd agree. So.
Well, we got Ida sort of here. Do you want to sort of finish off, James, at this? What day is today? Is it 13th, 14th, 16th?
15th, isn't it?
15th December.
Yeah.
Down in, we've had an exciting trip down.
Yeah.
Being abducted. You're going east, then suddenly going north. That kind of thing. We've got some nice people here, and Bob's doing his own podcast thing for his channel.
Yeah.
And Rob, anything you want to say on this?
I did get a message from Josie, our mutual friend in Ireland, and she asked me if I could ask you about what you were saying about St Michael's Mount, because she seems interested in the giants and the mythology of that, and you mentioned the film Revelations as well, which is interesting.
And on that, Leoness, I kept on saying the wrong way around.
Yeah, it's like Komander and the Giant, the legend of Komander and the Giant, and the film Revelation was about the family that lived on St Michael's Mount, which were the descendants of Christ. But that film came out in the 90s, and it's got an interesting narrative. The guy comes out of prison for cybercrime, Then he comes to Cornwall, goes to St. Michael's Mount, finds out he's a descendant of Christ.
Yeah.
And he's being monitored by the NSA. Which is kind of irrelevant to what's going on now, when that film was made in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe they're using looking glass technology.
Could be. Yeah, Cormorant and his wife lived on St. Michael's Mount, and there's rumours there was an underground base there.
Yeah. This is the thing with this. I've got this footage in glorious HD, and I called a beautiful Nordic blonde girl that transforms into this over 7 foot green reptilian. I call her Comoran's wife.
Yeah.
Because she's like a giant. I call her a giantess. She's huge, sharp teeth and light green skin.
The story is that there was a local boy, because Cormorant used to go over and steal animals from farms and kids as well. So the story is that the local boy Jack cut his head off with an axe and destroyed him. And in Victorian times, they found a secret room at St. Michael's Mount in the basement. And when they opened the door, there was an 8-foot skeleton there. And so this whole thing about giants, and as you know, we both spent a lot of time in this part of Cornwall. I mean, it's like everywhere. There's all these myths and stories and feeling that there's something under the earth, something about to explode everywhere.
She's this giantess that I've got on this footage. She's maybe 7'4". She's sat on a wooden table at one point, and she's got these huge long legs that are hanging down.
Yeah.
James, you want to move a wee bit closer to Bob?
And
And hold up your book as well.
so she's heading up towards that 8-foot thing, like you say, with the skeleton.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely links there. And Leoness, we talked about the whole forest in the sea.
Yeah.
It happened about 2019. There was unprecedented low tides, and it revealed an ancient forest under the sea that had been flooded. That Leoness.
Yeah.
And that's connected to the Arthurian
Arthurian
cycles.
legend. Yeah.
So yeah.
Because when you wrote this book, you were thinking of using the name Tristan Leoness,
yeah.
which is a great nom de plume, but I think it's better to people to know that who you are. But in your next book, possibly you could use that.
Yeah, I might use Tristan Leoness at some point.
Do you want to hold it there? 1 second. Get up, please. Move. Oh, this is heavy. Right, sit down, please.
Miles,
For the shot.
Miles.
Pardon?
I was being stage managing.
Set up. I could sit next on the other end of James.
Okay, well, we're doing this
Rearranging
bit.
everything.
Everything's
Do you
right.
want to sit
Can I
next?
just take a little break?
Yeah. Okay, we do. Where's the headphones? You sitting on the headphones?
I wish you could come hang out with us for a little bit. We'd have fun talking shit.
Well, hopefully you can come back sometime.
Yeah, well, I'm in America. I'm flying out Thursday. I don't think that'll be anytime soon. But I am
Well, maybe
thankful for
one
the
day
time.
I'll come to America again.
Well, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get you there. Get you.
Do you want to sit a bit closer to her? It's just for the shot.
Yeah.
Nobody in the kitchen. You're in shot.
Yes, I'll move
Okay.
out of the shot.
Okay, explain who you are. You're Ida, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And you're with James Casbolt
Yeah.
in Zennor at Bob Osborne's place, and it's a nice day.
Yep.
Action!
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name's Aida Farhat, and I'm here with James Casbolt at Bob Osborne's house, where he has been kind enough to come and spend some time with us and allow us to interview him. James, it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy that you're here, and this has been a long time coming for me, and I'm glad that I believe it's happening exactly when it's supposed to. So I wanted to ask you some questions about what's going on in your life now. I know that a lot of people over the years, I'm one of them, that have learned a great deal about you and your experiences, and kind of putting and compiling my own understanding of my own SSP experiences, but I wanted to talk to you about the music you're doing now because I'm fascinated with it. So, can you tell us a little bit about the lyrics of the music that you have written and your work with? I believe you said 50 Cent is now working with you to help you expand and get more exposure.
Yeah, G Unit. Yeah.
Okay.
G
So you want
Unit.
to you share a little bit more about your music and
I think because I've covered so much information about Super Soldier, I'm moving into more entertainment, music, writing, possibly even politics as I get into my 50s. But there's also a lot of information and data about Super Soldier and UAP that I haven't covered. So it works its way into the music because that's, my life is UAP Super Soldiers. So it's obviously those topics are going to be rapped about. And I also taught myself to sing in prison as well. So it's not just rapping, it's singing. But don't ask me to sing. I'll do some rapping if you want.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I imagine that the lyrics can be quite controversial.
Yeah.
So do you want to just give us a little idea of maybe one of the songs that you've done on your album? What ignited the writing? Was it therapeutic for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As I mentioned to Bob, sometimes when I'm in a deep sleep, I kind of dream the lyrics. It's like I hear a choir outside singing, and I keep a dictaphone next to the bed, so when I wake up and I hear the song, I sing it or rap it into the dictaphone, and then I write it down. So I'm gathering a lot of the lyrics in dreams. I mean, the second track that I did for the second album was called Trapped on Silbury B, which was a very dangerous prison wing on a very dangerous prison. Silbury B, Miles territory, Silbury Hill. It's named after Silbury Hill. The prison that I was in was called HMP Elstoke in Devizes. And one of the first wing you start off with is called Marlborough Wing. So again, that's Miles territory, Marlborough. And then you work your way to Silbury B. And it's like an initiation, whereas everybody gets tortured in Silbury B, physically and mentally. You're guaranteed to get a beating in Silbury B. Everybody gets a beating.
So that's an initiation?
That's the initiation. And once you got your beating, then you go to Avebury, which is Avebury Wing, which is Avebury is another part of Wiltshire, and it's connected to Mars Stones. Once you make it past Silbury B, if you make it past Silbury B, some people don't, some people die there. I had 3 friends die in 1 year on one wing. They hung themselves and one died. The conditions were so stressful. He died of a stress-related disease. Basically, his skin started falling off him like a snake, and all his hair fell out, and he died in the cell. That's how stressful the conditions. Silbury, Trapped on Silbury B is about what happens on Silbury B. It is what it says on the label.
Well, do you want to share a little bit about what happens on Silbury B? Are these gangs inside the prisons that are
gangs? What the officers do is they pit gangs against each other. So they socially engineer conflict, and they bring the people come outside the fences and they throw parcels over the fence full of drugs, every drug you can imagine, and they use a lot of anabolic steroids. So a lot of anabolic steroids comes in, everyone's getting pumped up, really aggressive at the gym every day, and then the prison officers goad the gangs against each other. So
Well, that sounds a lot like what happens out on the streets too, except it's in more of a
Yeah,
confined situation.
Yeah, it's a law enforcement tactic, you know, where they pit
Right.
groups against each other. So yeah, that's LBB.
It's fascinating. So, so what are your plans? You have some plans for the future and getting more involved with music and becoming, sharing your creative expression through music and writing books. You have another book coming out as well.
Yeah, my book's just come out on paperback, Escape from Tartarus, Agent Buried Alive Part 2. And I'm working on my first album, CD, The Hand, has come out. And I'm working on my second album, which is called Killa4Life. So I've done 3 tracks from that. And I'm working on the 4th track, which is going to be the biggest track because that's going to have a member of G Unit on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know about rap or hip hop, it's the guy called Tony Yayo. He's a member of G Unit, 50 Cent. So he's going to be on the track. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I don't know who Tony Yayo is. I've watched your interviews on Bob Osborne's show, but I am familiar with rap music, and I do know that more recently it's become more obvious how they use the rappers to get certain messages out and gatekeep and so forth and so on. I would, well, I'm not suggesting that's with you, but a lot of these very dark, I mean, talking about hoes and sex and guns and all the stuff that keeps, especially a youngin' coming up listening to those types of lyrics, and how it could distort the psyche and create, you know, people find that to be an exciting life and aspire to be a rapper and all the money and the, you know.
But yeah, I mean, it's not that exciting when you end up in prison and you almost lose your life.
Well, that's right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, guns, violence, drugs, sex. I won't get into that too much, but that's been part of my life growing up. So it's not exactly too hard for me to rap about those subjects.
Yeah.
Which that sells, you know.
No, I understand. I'm not saying. I hope you didn't misunderstand what I'm saying.
I understand.
Yeah. But I think that you have an opportunity to have a huge influence on those, especially the younger generation that's coming up and really seeking, you know, some answers. Maybe they're having their own experiences or questioning life and the government and religious dogma and so forth, that maybe in some of your lyrics you would be able to give some direction or
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the lyrics are about politics. You know, I talk about revolutionary warfare and you know, sort of socialism slightly. You know, I talk about I'm drawing a blank on some of the lyrics, but yeah, there's definitely political aspects to the music, almost Tupac style. You know, because when I was in prison, I did a BA degree in political science, so that's worked its way into the music.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of revolutionary warfare music, and so yeah, it's a mixture. You got politics, sex, drugs, violence, shooting, and you've also got a lot of super soldier UAP information.
Well, that's impressive that you got a BA and you did something productive in prison while you were there, that you chose to educate. I mean, I find you absolutely fascinating, James, and I think that you're so well learned in so many things, and really, it blows my mind. I sometimes revisit some of your interviews, and the knowledge that you have, like, you don't hear it from a lot of people that have been, you know, sharing information about the secret space program and so forth. There's stuff that you speak about that I've never heard from another person that's been using in the projects and programs, including myself. My recall is not the greatest.
Well, I was gonna do a track for the second album called Rap's Fifth Era, and that was there's never been a rap album where it's talked about super soldiers and UAP, UFOs. There's never been a rap style like that.
Right.
So this is going to be the first of its kind. So I was going to maybe do a track called Rap's Fifth Era.
Well, I look forward
So,
to that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, what's your next? So, getting the album out, getting your book out,
Yeah.
and yeah, I want to say to everybody that's going to be watching this broadcast to be sure to go to Bob Osborne's website and purchase James' book and his album, so we can support him and continue to support him. And I look forward to reading your book. I'm going to pick one up here and maybe you'll sign it for me. That would be lovely. Yeah.
Well, the third album, the third track is produced by a guy called Adrian Wood, and he's a multi-platinum producer for 50 Cent. And the track's been mastered by a guy called Kai Deniger, which he's another like superstar producer. He produces for Flow Rider and Rick Ross. So what I'll do is I'll leave the PR company that I work with music. They want to release that single as a Christmas single. So what I'll do is I'll leave a comment below this video, and then people can go
Very good.
to my site and then they can listen to the track, because like I said, it's going to be released as a Christmas single.
Well, you
Marduk.
just mentioned Rick Ross. So I've been watching the Diddy.
Diddy thing.
Yeah. Do you have any comments about that? I'm just curious. Rick Ross.
They wanted to sort of murder him, didn't they? I mean, like sort of legally murder him and put him away for forever. But I think he beat the case.
Well, he got 4 years. They gave him the lease of
But
the
he
charges.
beat it.
Yeah.
He beat the case. I think after he was sentenced, he walked into the prison and everybody started clapping, all the prisoners, because he beat the case. Which is good on him. More power to him.
Okay.
He beat the case. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's the end of my questions, Miles.
I think if you mentioned
He wants
Bob's
Brad
site.
wants me to rap.
Oh, the rapping. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I didn't know we were going to do that on camera.
Explain we have Brad Olsen with us.
Yes, we do have Brad Olsen, and we have Bob Osborne here as well. And
And I'm happy to do a rap for Brad.
Because you're working with some very well-known American producers and musicians. So
yeah,
we want to hear your British style.
I would love that. I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were doing it on camera. I thought, okay, that would be lovely. Shall I give him the... Okay, there you are.
No, he doesn't. He has a mic on.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of British trap style rap.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll do that especially for Brad.
Thank you.
Okay, putting me on the spot here. Okay, the wolf at night, the black, the hawk, enemies balk when the tiger walks. Whoever takes sides when the lines are drawn, souls take flight when the air is born. All terrain, the master shore, spear by my side when I'm in the hall, setting my sights on the longest haul. Soldiers line up for the devil's ball.
Nice.
That's powerful lyrics right there. Very good, James.
Thank you.
Yeah. So...
Any final words from the executive producer and Bob? Do you want to say anything?
Well, the book Escape from Tartarus is on available on my website, and it's rebelnottaken.co.uk shop.
You mentioned the website.
Yes,
So
yes.
I can send that out.
Rebel Not Taken.
Yeah.
The website.
rebelnottaken.co.uk/shop. That takes you straight to the shop.
Do this because I'm not gonna. Here, if you'll repeat that, please, Bob.
rebelnottaken.co.uk/shop. Takes you direct to my little shop, and then we can send the books out, including to America.
Yep, very good. And I really ask everybody that's going to be watching this video to share it out, and be sure to, if you're not able to buy both the CD and the book, at least buy one or the other, or both preferably. We want to show support to you, James, and I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me today and do this interview. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Okay.
And thank you very much, James, for doing all this. Best of luck to you.
Yes, absolutely.
No, it's good to see everyone after all these years.
Okay, bye.
Okay. I always get nervous, so